Katie, I'm a Senior Account Manager and I've been here since October. Yeah.
I'm Becky, I am the Studio Director here and I've been here nearly 9 years. I actually came here for 2 weeks as a freelance account manager. I ended up staying nearly 9 years. So yeah, I just loved the place, loved working with Stu, and he kind of convinced me to stay, and over time kind of changed from an account management kind of client facing role to do much more studio focused stuff. So currently looking after kind of HR, looking after finance, resourcing, culture here, just making sure everything's ticking over really well, everything's sort of working the best it can. Yeah.
So I came to Purpose just under 4 months ago, and I started as well on a freelance basis, but with the hope that it would go permanent, and it worked out. Really enjoying working at Purpose. I look after accounts with the client services team as a senior account manager, and I can't remember the question.
I think it's changed over time, but I think quite a lot at the moment. We're starting people out kind of temp to perm contracts, so freelance, sort of taking people on specifically for projects, and then if they fit really well and getting on really well with everything, then it makes sense to kind of keep that relationship going and then keep them on permanently.
Yeah.
So
I actually enjoyed that option. So as an account manager, when you kind of go in and you have clients and it's kind of how you gel with that type of work, I really enjoyed the fact that we could kind of do the trial period where we kind of find out whether we like each other and then go into a permanent basis.
It kind of works for both sides, really.
It was a great kind of option for me. That's why it was kind of really appealed to me, actually. Yeah.
It does really go up and down. So I guess when you've got a flurry of kind of new projects starting, there's those decisions to be made between who takes what, who's making sure that the client, the project gets the right design on it, but then the designer's got a good balance of projects that they're working on. So I think initially when new projects come in, there's a big flurry, and then things are kind of sort of settled down into a little rhythm of concepts, development, etc., and it's sort of slightly easier to manage. So on a day-to-day basis, just checking in, making sure things are everyone's working to protocol. That there's no kind of secret requests going around the studio that you don't know about. Keep an eye on those. So it does fluctuate. I think if the more you've got sort of freelancers in, the more you need to kind of check in and check that they've got the right briefs, and they've got to get up to speed on the client. Lots of knowledge to take on, but traditionally we've always had a production team here in the studio, and I think we were kind of finding more and more that because we work on a lot of brand identity clients, there'd be that big flurry, you get this amazing identity that would sort of roll out across certain items, and then the client's sort of budget would kind of, they need more kind of rollout implementation side of things rather than that big kind of initial kind of brand flurry. So the idea behind Purpose Works is to kind of keep hold of those clients sort of much longer and kind of keep that relationship going, whereby they can do kind of repeat ads, lots of implementation and artwork, but at a slightly reduced price to what you might have in sort of central London, I guess. So we offer sort of better rates out there, and that kind of helps keep that relationship going much longer. And I think it's always so disappointing in designer when you create this great identity and it kind of, they start to manage it in-house, or they get sort of people to do it, and it's not, the core design team that did it originally, and it just doesn't start to look quite as good as when you did it initially. So I think it's that kind of rationale behind Purpose Works.
We talk really well together, so I found at Purpose that there's not that huge email culture where you kind of email the person that you sit next to. You can very much kind of go and interact with everybody so that they know the work that's on. So I work really closely with Becky, especially if there's lots of clients, and so does the client services team. So that helps all of us understand how much work's going on. And then we also do weekly planning. So we tend to give Becky our list of what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. She'll go away, make her magic with the spreadsheet and fit all the work in, and then we come together as a full team with all the account managers, Becky and Claire, and we make sure everything's fitting in, and that's where we can have that discussion. So if there's work that we need to prioritise, then that's how we can fit it in, and that also helps then look at resource to see if we do need additional support or if there's somebody who's better suited on certain projects and that kind of thing.
Purpose is really good for process. And even though process, sometimes people think it's a terrible word and it's really rigid, it's actually not. You can do process in kind of a kind of an adaptive way and just make sure it's kind of tailored to what your agency needs. So I guess the advice would be to have a process, but just to make it as kind of nimble and as kind of light and as, that you need to and that you've actually got time to do. So, there are some things that are kind of absolutely fundamental. Do those, and then the other things, if you can do them, but if not, then just do what you can.
Yeah. And especially with each client, they can be so different. So it's having that process, like the fundamental plots along that journey, but then also making sure that it's tailorable, that it can be tailored to the client and their needs and what they require. So I definitely think, that flexibility is kind of key, and not to treat every client the same in the sense of they can't all fit into the box. So being able to work around that is definitely a key one, yeah.